Not every sweet word comes from love. Sometimes the sweetest lies are the ones spoken to use you, to take your time, your energy, or your heart. Gentlemen, many men over 60 believe that if a woman says all the right things, it must be true. We want to trust, we want to believe, but words can be sugar-coated, while her actions quietly reveal the real story. Hi, it's Vernon again, and today I want to open your eyes to a truth that many men discovered too late. I'll share 5 sweet lies women tell when they're using a man, and what those words actually mean beneath the surface. Some women, not all, but some, will use words as tools of manipulation. They'll sound affectionate, devoted, even selfless. But behind the sweetness, the intent is convenience, control, or personal gain. And if you've ever felt something off in her actions, but dismissed it because her words sounded right, this video is for you. Before we dive in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. That way you'll get more advice on love, dating, and marriage after 60, and join a growing community of men who want wisdom, clarity, and healthier relationships in our golden years. So let's begin with the first sweet lie, one that sounds flattering but often hides something else.
Number 1. You're the only one I can count on. At first, this sounds like the ultimate compliment. She makes you feel like her rock, her safe place, her one true support. And for men, especially after 60, that sense of being needed can feel powerful. This phrase doesn't mean intimacy. It means convenience. What she really counts on might not be your heart, but your wallet, your time, or your resources. Why does this happen? Psychologically, it's a subtle way of locking you in. By making you feel indispensable, she creates an obligation, a silent contract where you become the giver and she the taker. Over time, you might notice that her requests keep growing, while her investment in you remains the same. The relationship slowly tilts out of balance, and you're left wondering when the last time was that she supported you in return. This is why it's important to test the weight of her words. Ask yourself, does her dependence come with reciprocity? Does she also support you? Ask about your needs. Stand by you when life gets hard. Or is it always you carrying the weight? A healthy relationship after 60 should feel like a partnership, not a service contract. Many men in their later years mistake constant neediness for love, but real intimacy isn't built on endless favors. It's built on shared responsibility, mutual care, and the comfort of knowing she shows up for you as much as you show up for her. The philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." A woman who always craves your support without giving hers leaves you emotionally bankrupt. Have you ever been in a situation where someone relied on you completely, but you felt the relationship was one-sided? Share your story in the comments. Your insight might help another man recognize the truth sooner.
Number 2. I've never met anyone like you. This one is flattering. Who doesn't want to feel unique, special, one of a kind? Especially for men over 60, after decades of marriage or solitude, these words can light us up. They touch that deep desire to still be admired, to still feel like we're different in a world that often treats older men as invisible. Sometimes this line is a script, not sincerity.
It's designed to lower your guard, to make you feel chosen, while in reality, you might just be one of many. My sister Sandra, who's 63, once told me about her brother's girlfriend. This woman repeated the phrase constantly, "I've never met anyone like you." She said it in restaurants, over the phone, even in front of family members. Sandra remembered thinking, "She says it so often it's starting to sound rehearsed." And later, it came out that she was secretly seeing another man. The words weren't admiration, they were camouflage, spoken to keep him hooked while she lived a double life. Why does this happen? Psychologically, it's called love bombing. By showering you with praise, she makes you feel irreplaceable. That rush of feeling special can blind you to red flags, the inconsistencies, the secrets, the lack of real investment. Flattery is cheap, but it's powerful because it feeds our ego and our longing for connection. So how do you know if the compliment is genuine? Look for the details. A woman who truly thinks you're unique will point out specifics, the way you tell stories, your patience with your grandchildren, your dedication to your craft or hobbies. She won't just repeat the same vague line. She'll notice things only someone who truly pays attention would know. Gentlemen, especially after 60, we must be cautious. Loneliness can make us vulnerable to words that sound sweet but have no foundation. It feels good to hear, "I've never met anyone like you," but if her actions are ordinary, or worse, contradictory, it's time to pause and question her sincerity. The writer Ralph Emerson once put it simply, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." In relationships, actions prove uniqueness far more than words ever could. And if that makes you smile too quickly, wait for the next one.
Sweet lie number 3. I don't care about money. I just care about you. On the surface, this sounds noble, even romantic. Imagine a woman who only wants your heart, not your bank account. For men after 60, these words can feel refreshing. We want to believe that finally someone sees us for who we are, not what we can provide. If her actions show the opposite, this is one of the clearest lies. Words can be sugar, but behavior is the substance. As Oscar Wilde once quipped in conversation, "When I was young, I thought that money was the most important thing in life. Now that I am old, I know that it is." Money touches everything in daily life. It's not just about wealth. It's about how we share responsibility, how we respect each other's contributions, and how we balance partnership. So when someone insists money doesn't matter, pay attention to whether that's truly reflected in behavior. Here's what to notice. Does she often forget her wallet? Does she rely on you to cover every meal, every trip, every expense, while never offering in return? Does she speak about simplicity, yet drop hints about gifts, vacations, or financial support? These contradictions reveal whether her words are genuine or strategic. Sometimes the red flags are even subtler. Maybe she never talks about building a future together that includes shared financial responsibility. Maybe she avoids transparency about her own spending, but is quick to suggest how you should spend yours. Maybe every time you're together, the dynamic quietly reinforces you as the provider and her as the beneficiary. Gentlemen, this isn't about being stingy. It's about fairness. At our stage of life, relationships should bring peace and companionship, not financial strain. Healthy love after 60 is built on balance. Two people contributing what they can, not one person carrying the entire load. The truth is, when someone says, "I don't care about money," but consistently benefits from yours, what they're really saying is, "I want your resources without admitting it." And that's not romance. That's dependency disguised as affection. If you find this message important, share this video with a friend or in your groups. Many men over 60 ignore financial red flags until it's too late. Sharing might save someone else from heartbreak.
Number 4. I just need a little more time. Patience is a virtue, but sometimes patience is exploited. When a woman says, "I just need a little more time," it can sound perfectly reasonable. Maybe she's healing from a past relationship, maybe she's cautious, maybe she doesn't want to rush. At first, that kind of answer feels respectful. But when months turn into years and no real commitment ever comes, it's often nothing more than a delay tactic. Hazel, a woman I know who's now 66, once told me about her dear friend. He waited nearly 4 years for a woman who kept repeating this line. Every time he asked about moving forward, she'd smile warmly and say, "I just need a little more time." And so he waited. He bought her dinners, fixed her car, helped with her errands, and always gave her the benefit of the doubt. But in reality, she was never planning to commit. She enjoyed his presence, his generosity, his stability, without giving him the future he truly wanted. Why does this happen? Psychologically, it's called breadcrumbing. It's when someone gives just enough to keep you invested, but never enough to truly move forward. The small gestures, the occasional affection, the vague promises, they're not signs of growth, they're crumbs on a trail that goes nowhere. If she says she needs more time, but never defines how much or what she's working toward, that's a warning sign. If she avoids serious conversations about the future or gets defensive when you ask for clarity, that's another. And if she seems perfectly comfortable with things staying exactly as they are, with you doing the giving and her doing the receiving, then she's not waiting to commit. She's waiting to keep things convenient. In the words of the philosopher Soren Kierkegaard, most men pursue pleasure with such breathless haste that they hurry past it. In relationships, some women pursue security in the same way, hurrying to claim your time, your kindness, your stability, yet never offering true commitment in return. Gentlemen, remember, time is our most precious resource after 60. Don't waste years on someone who only stalls. If she's serious, she'll show it with steady steps forward. If not, it's better to walk away than to keep standing still. And finally, the sweetest lie of all, the one every man wants to believe.
Number 5. You're everything I've ever wanted. This is the grand declaration, the words every man secretly longs to hear. And yes, in true love, they can be real. But when they're spoken too soon, repeated too often, or left unsupported by consistent actions, they're almost always manipulation.
How can someone truly know your everything after only a few weeks or months? Real love takes time. Time to observe, to discover each other's character, to navigate both joys and struggles together. When a woman rushes to tell you this, it's usually not about who you are. It's about creating an emotional hook before you've had the chance to see her clearly. Why does this work so well? Because men after 60 are often hungry for reassurance. Many of us carry scars from divorce, widowhood, or years of feeling invisible. Hearing "you're everything I've ever wanted" feels like finally being seen, valued, and chosen. It hits the deepest part of our longing, and that's exactly why it's such a powerful tool of manipulation. The danger is that once you believe it, you may rush ahead, offering trust, resources, or even long-term commitment before you've seen whether her actions align with her words. Sweet words can blind us to subtle red flags: inconsistency, lack of effort, avoidance of deeper intimacy, or even financial dependence disguised as affection. Watch what happens when things aren't convenient. Does she still stand by you when plans fall through, when you're sick, or when you can't provide as much as before? True love proves itself not in grand declarations, but in quiet loyalty during ordinary moments. The poet Rainer Maria Rilke once mused, "For one human being to love another, that is perhaps the most difficult of all our tasks." Real love is not instant perfection. It's patient work, built slowly, tested over time, and proven through actions rather than declarations. Words can be enchanting, but actions are always the truth.
So, if you've watched this far, you now know the 5 sweet lies women tell when they're using a man. You're the only one I can count on. I've never met anyone like you. I don't care about money, I just care about you. I just need a little more time. You're everything I've ever wanted. Gentlemen, words can inspire, but they can also deceive. The wise man doesn't just listen to what she says, he watches if her actions match her words. Real love isn't about perfect phrases, it's about consistency, respect, and shared effort. If her words and her actions don't align, trust what you see, not what you hear. The philosopher Epictetus once reminded us, "What harms you is not what happens, but how you respond to it." Respond with clarity. Respond with self-respect. Have you ever been in a conversation where her silence or hesitation revealed more than her words ever could? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might give another man the insight he needs. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more wisdom about navigating relationships, trust, and emotional intelligence after 60. And check the description for resources to help you recognize red flags and strengthen your emotional boundaries. I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.